All right, our package arrived.
All right, let's see what Art and Glow sent us. Recyclable paper, always nice. Ooh, right off the bat, looks like we've got some RGB, red, green, blue inks. We'll have to see how those look with, oh, nice. They sent us a little thing, okay. Let's see, it probably doesn't show up well on camera, but that's some really nice glow. So they've got these little pendant UV light, that's cool. Let's see, it's pretty. Ah, okay, so this is a thermo powder. So this was red to yellow color change powder. Let's see, tangerine pearl. Ooh, that looks really nice. Purple pearl, also really nice. This is a good red. I'm excited to use this. I think this with this orange will be a really good combo for what I'm thinking. Okay. Looks like we have a black here, or no. Okay, so a nice brown. Okay, that'll be interesting. I think we got the last one here. Neutral red glow powder. Okay, so this should glow as well. So, let's see. Ooh, yeah, okay. I don't think that'll pick up on camera, but we'll see if we can't get a good shot of that. And then last but not least, I'm guessing this is the resin. Yup. Okay, cool, some instructions. All right, we'll go over that whenever we do our pour. Oh, nice. Well, cool. All right, let's get these to use.
Today we're going to be casting using our Gothic font mold. I feel it really fits the fire and ice vibe, and it's going to bring it all together, especially once we ink it with that really cool blue glow ink. Now, I'm going to be using the Art and Glow red and tangerine pearl pigments for this. Both of them in combo with a nice swirl is going to give a really good fire effect. And like I said, once we pair that with that blue glow ink, it's going to be just about perfect. Now right off the bat I can tell this is pretty good mica. It comes in bags, which I absolutely hate. Bags are just worthless. It makes a mess no matter what you do when you open it, and I'd recommend transferring this into a container as soon as possible. That said though, the pigment itself is really nice. The Art and Glow resin comes in 2 bottles. Like most art resins, it's a strict 50-50 ratio, which makes life really easy. It's packaged with this nice little newbie cheat sheet, and it's pretty clear cut and well formatted. I gotta say, if this is all I had to cast with and I didn't do any research beforehand, I'd be pretty confident that I wouldn't have a failed cast due to poor mixing. It's got all these nice little handy tips in here, like workplace safety, getting everything set up for where you're going to be pouring, removing bubbles, and tips for how to prevent it. It also has some nice handy information in it in regards to how to actually mix it and not have unmixed part A or part B, which I think is one of the biggest pitfalls new casters fall into. So we're going to follow the directions exactly per this little guide. So I've got 2 equal cups of the epoxy and hardener poured out and ready to go. We're going to mix that together in a single cup, and then we're going to pour that out and mix it again in a second cup, making sure we scrape everything out from the first cup. Now, I would not normally advise scraping the cups and remixing again, typically because that's just going to drag more of that unmixed part A or part B, but since we're going through and mixing a second time, it shouldn't cause any troubles. And you can see here it clouds up a little bit but then goes back to being clear after all that epoxy and hardener has mixed thoroughly. And one thing I notice is this resin is really a lot thinner than my normal resin, KS resin. It does also have a stronger chemical smell. It's not terribly bad, but KS resin is such a low odor that it really stands out to me. Now that said, with any resin you should be working in a well ventilated area and using a respirator. Now we've got our 2 mica powders already set aside, the orange tangerine pearl and the red pearl. And I'm going to be thoroughly mixing in this mica. I want to make sure that we get a good color saturation. Although I'm not going to mix in every little bit. I want there to be a little bit of clumping or little spots of mica that doesn't get mixed in completely, because I want to have that little extra pop of color on the crit faces. We're going to do a straight 50-50 for this, and to help make that happen, we're going to go ahead and grab our 2-cup. The most important thing to get this swirl effect when you're using the 2-cup is making sure you don't fill the dice one by one. You want to go through and mix them throughout the pouring process a little bit at a time. So you'll move from die to die, filling it and moving your hand in little circles to get that swirling motion, so both colors blend together and you get that really good rainbow effect mixture of swirl. That way you don't have just a straight 50-50 die, unless that's what you're going for. We're going to grab the lighter and go ahead and pop all these bubbles. And before we cap, we need to just paint the numbers with some extra resin from our pour cup. Now it's really important to do this because you want to make sure that this doesn't pull any excess air that clings to those numbers. It also prevents air from inside the mold that's going to naturally rise up to rest on those one faces and cause little voids. Give it one last little flame before we put the cap on, and now is the most important part. Do not smash your mold down. Just let the weight of your hand slowly rest on the cap. Now that we've got this capped and ready, we're going to pop it in the pressure pot and check it in the morning.
It's been 24 hours, so it's time to pop this pot and see what we got. All right, now the instructions said 24 hours for demold and then 72 hours for full hardness, which is pretty normal, so I'm not going to scratch them there. Even with my quick resin, I usually wait at least 24 hours after demolding to actually polish. Okay, well, it is cured. God, I love how easy that stuff comes off the insert. It's got good coloration. All right, let's go ahead and bring you guys in so we can get a nice demold on this and evaluate exactly how it looks. All right, got to put this dice tray here, make life a little easier for us. So let's take a look. First, got to get that good peel. All right, so far so good. And then we're going to flex and stretch so we don't tear our corners out. Oh yeah. So far this looks great. Nice. So because I went really heavy on the pigmentation and I didn't mix it in all the way, I got some speckles on the crit face like I was expecting, and I'm really pleased with that. Now, so you can see here, those crit face speckles. Now if you don't want that, you need to make sure you're thoroughly mixing in your pigmentation. But that's exactly what I wanted up for these. I wanted those nice pops of color on the crit face, because you can see really nicely here on the D6 how it has both tones kind of popping. So we've got our nice fire. All right, so these look great. Honestly, I'm really pleased. We'll go ahead and give this another day to harden up a bit more, and then we'll get this cleaned up and inked. Okay, so I am in fact a dirty liar. I can't wait, you guys. I really want to see what this ink looks like on these dice. So, it's always good to give them a good shake. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah. Oh, that glow's awesome. Here, and then you can see that nice glow. Oh, this is good stuff. Okay, let's see how this looks. So on the positive side, this is gonna be really nice for the numbers because it's just gonna be a white until you hit it with that glow. I wonder what it's gonna look like after it dries. With a lot of glow paints or, you know, clear coats and that sort of thing, they're opaque and then they dry clear. So I'm really curious to see how this turns out. I let the ink dry, and as you can see, it does dry perfectly clear. So in order to make this where we have the glow portion, we can do is ink it with a base blue and then come back and hit this with the glow. Or we can mix pigment or inking into our glow paint to make a custom one. So keep that in mind if you're wanting glow paints. Like I said, most glow paints are like this, where the pigmentation of it is in fact clear, as it's just the glow powder or liquid that is suspended in an acrylic medium of some kind. You could think of it a lot like Mod Podge, how it goes on opaque and then clears. Now that we've had this resin curing for a couple days, I can clearly see its full hardness and it's ready to go. It's exactly like I would expect any other epoxy resin. So we're gonna go ahead and clean these up, ink them, and then we'll move on to those glamour shots. These dice right here are just so good. I am ecstatic. I have been looking for a true neutral red forever, and every red I seem to try from multiple companies either skews one way to pink, to purple, to brown, to orange. I can't seem to find a solid monocolor red, and this Art & Glow mica powder red just nails it for me. So I'm gonna be using that in all of my projects going forward. When someone's requested that nice neutral red, this is gonna be my go-to to build upon. That said, it mixed really well, so did the orange, and the resin itself was also really good. So all around, I'm really pleased with these Art & Glow products, and I see ourselves here at Druid Dice using them going forward. Now, that's not to say we're gonna not use other products, but when it comes to working with dice or any project, you want the right tool for the right job. And I think this resin would be really good for casting without a pressure pot. So we're gonna try that here in an upcoming video. And I wanna hear from you down below, what resins would you like to see in this shootout for non-pressure casting? I know we're gonna try KS resin, Art & Glow, but we need a couple other contenders to see who stacks up best when you wanna first get in that hobby and you're not sure what resin to buy. I think this is gonna be a good chance for us to test that out. So let me know down below your thoughts on what resin you think we should test for non-pressure casting. Also down below, save yourself 10% off of your Art & Glow supplies. I honestly like these products, and even though they're not sponsoring the video, they did send them to me for free. And if I liked them, I was gonna go ahead and open up this 10% discount to y'all, and I like them. So check it out. Let us know what you think, and hopefully you guys can create some awesome dice using their products as well. As always, thanks for spending the time and watching our video. Subscribe and like and share and all those bells and whistles, and we'll check out next time and see what we can do about that resin shootout.
But before that, I've got a little liquid core secret to share with y'all. Happy dice making.